All right, all right. So check it out. Let's get into this next part. We've got part two of our journey into Alexander the Great. Let's just do a quick little review of what we learned so far. It's going to be good. So let's look at this real quick. So we're looking at Alexander the Great and his empire that he'll eventually create. Here's a movie again. I do not recommend. But anyway, so let's just start quick with a review. What did we learn? Who is his daddy? Who is he? That's right. His name is Philip II. His tragic story is about to happen. Anyways, Philip II was a great leader. He's the one that came up with the idea for these 18-foot-long pikes and the phalanx and all that. He was able to organize a very, very strong military, and he'll eventually take over all of Greece at the Battle of Charone or Charona. I don't know how to pronounce it. Charoni? I don't know. You say it how you want to. It's fine. All right, and his next idea was to take over all of Persia, everything here in the green, all the way down here in Egypt and all. But he was never able to, because what happened to him? He was stabbed to death at his daughter's wedding by one of his own guards. That's crazy. Yes, it is. All right, so who took over? His son, Alexander the Great, all right, who was taught by Aristotle. And that's where we'll start right there in our notes. So pull your notes out. Let's get over here to it. Everybody get organized really well. Let's get organized and get in here and look at some of these notes. It's going to be good. You guys know so much. It's just, you guys are smart. It's going to be good. All right, you guys are going to like this. Let's see what we got here. Let's just put this down here like that. You don't even need to see too much of me. And yeah, let's just get into this. All right, so let's just kind of back up and start. So Macedonia, which Alexander rules, okay, he rules all of Greece. So Macedonia was conquered by his dad, Philip II, okay, and now Alexander's in charge. What does he want to do? He wants to continue on with his dad's dream, okay, but he's even more ambitious than his dad was. So let's just get straight into this. You'll find out what it's all about. It's very good. And first let's start here. So Alexander defeats, go ahead and write in Persia. And that's what today is going to be all about, defeating Persia. Let's go through this. So although Alexander was, see, how old was he when he first started? He was actually younger than his daddy. When his daddy started, he was 20 years old. All right, when he became king, he was, that's right, he was well prepared. He was very prepared, being trained by Aristotle and other soldiers. Okay, so who did I just say? Who taught him? Aristotle. Okay, under Aristotle's teachings, he actually lived with him for 3 years. Imagine having to live with one of your teachers, all right, and learning about life and everything like that. Okay, so Alexander had learned about science, geography. Now think about that for a minute. Geography, if you know about the world around you, especially if you lived like he did, they didn't know what the whole world was. They just knew a little bit about the world, not that much. So Alexander had learned about science, geography, and the most important part of this is literature, learning to read and write, being able to express yourselves with one-on-one and in large groups. You need to take that skill and run with it also. Alexander especially enjoyed Homer's description. Remember Homer and the Iliad and the Odyssey? Homer's description of the heroic deeds performed by, who was that great character in the Trojan War? His name was Achilles. All right. So he enjoyed Achilles during the Trojan War. Some have rumored, check this out, that Alexander the Great himself, he thought that he was Achilles reincarnated. Anyways, to inspire himself, he kept a copy. Now, where was Achilles in the Trojan War? What book was that in? You remember? The Iliad. That's right. Kept a copy of the Iliad under his pillow and read it often. As a young boy, Alexander learned to ride a horse. The horse became very famous. Okay, so he was really good on the back of a horse, and the men see that and they're like, "Oh, that guy's pretty good at that." They respect the cavalryman. He knew how to use weapons. He knew how to command troops. So he became an easy, natural leader because he had practiced it when he was young. Practice things when you're young, and you'll be able to do them easily when you're older. Once he became king, Alexander promptly demonstrated that his military training had not been wasted. When the people of Thebes, watch this, watch out what he does. This is crazy. The people of Thebes rebelled against him. Guess what he'll do? He destroyed the city. He went over there and destroyed. He burned the thing. That's right. And about 6,000 of them were killed. And then he wasn't done yet. Look what he does. The survivors, after Thebes was burned, and about 6,000 were killed, he took the rest of them and he sold them into, that's right, this common thing, but still awful, slaves. Sold them into slavery. That's right. So frightened by his cruelty, the other Greek city-states, they quickly gave up any idea of rebellion. So his daddy, check it out, Philip II had conquered all of Greece. Yeah, but it wasn't completely in control because the people thought, hey, Philip II's dead now. Got this little 20-year-old kid in charge. We can rebel against him. Nope. Alexander's like, you're not going to do that. And then everybody basically quickly became like, oh, in line. Like, oh, we're going to listen to this guy. That's right. And he'll rule all of Greece. And then this expansion of Greece or Macedonia will continue. So here we go. So invasion of, what place are we talking about again today? Who's our topic of the day? Starts with P. There you go. All right. Persia. So invasion of Persia. With Greece now secure, Alexander felt free to carry out his father's plans to invade and conquer Persia. In 334 BC, he led 35,000 soldiers across the Hellespont into Anatolia, which is a part of Persia, big part of it. Persian messengers raced along the royal road to spread news of the invasion. An army of about 40,000 men rushed to, what are they going to do? Try to defend Persia. The two forces met at this river right here, the Granicus River. Instead of waiting for the Persians to make the first move, Alexander ordered his, who did he order? All right, who did he order? The vicious people. He ordered his cavalry. That's right, cavalry, quick horses to attack, leading his troops. And that's the thing that really kicks it off. He didn't sit back in the back. He led his troops into battle. Alexander smashed who was he fighting again? The Persians' defenses. That's right. He smashed them and did a really good job at that battle. It's not over yet, though. All right. So Alexander's victory at Granicus alarmed the Persian king. Now, this guy becomes important to know his name. His name is Darius, and he is the third. Darius the third. So, vowing to crush the invaders, he raised an army of between 50 and 75,000 men to face the Macedonians, okay, near another place called Issus. Realizing that he was outnumbered, Alexander, though, had to come up with a plan, and he'll surprise his enemy. He ordered his finest troops to break through a weak point in the Persian lines. So they're going to take his best troops and basically pierce into these 50 to 75,000 troops. The army then charged straight at, now, that leader of the Persians wasn't in the front, was in the back. So who are they going to go straight after? Who was the leader of the Persians? That's right, Darius the third. The army then charged straight toward Darius the third. And then to avoid capture, the frightened king, guess what he did? He ran away. He just ran away, y'all. Ran away like a scared little kid. He wasn't willing to fight, even though he was able to try to push men into battle. Anyway, so followed by his panicked army, and his army ran away also. This victory gave Alexander control over Anatolia and part of Persia. And remember, Persia is the largest empire in the world up to that time. So Alexander has taken some of it, but not all of it. All right, let's continue. We're rolling into this, getting interesting. So conquering the Persian Empire. Shaken by his defeat, Darius tried to blank a peace settlement. This is a good word right here. Blank a peace settlement. Negotiate. That's right, to negotiate a peace settlement, try to come up with a compromise between the two. So he offered Alexander, check this out, all of his lands west of what river is this? The Euphrates rivers, basically giving up about half of his empire to Alexander. Sounds like a pretty good deal. I think I might take the thing. What do y'all think? Do you think Alexander did? Alexander's advisors urged him to do what? That's right, to accept. What did he do? What did y'all think he did? He refused. That's right, y'all. Darius offered and confidently announced his plan to conquer the entire Persian Empire. This guy's ambitious. Man, he's ambitious. He wants to just take everything over. So Alexander, then he'll march into which is part of Persia, but we kind of like to look at it as separate because it's such an important place. He goes into Egypt. Okay, so he's taking part of Persia, and now he's going to go down into Egypt. So he first has Greece. Now he's going to basically move. I like to think of it this way: he pierces his way through the Persian Empire down into Egypt, okay, which is a Persian territory. All right, in 332 BC. But the Egyptians don't want to be a part of Persia. Persia's just taking them over. And the Egyptians, just watch what they do. They welcomed Alexander in. And they did this. They saw him as it's an L word for one that helps someone get free, as a liberator. That's right. They saw him as a liberator. They just thought this was the guy that's going to be better than the Persians. And then watch this. They crown him. He's in Egypt. They crown him now they didn't have kings. They had something else. Y'all remember? That's right. A pharaoh. They could call him Pharaoh. All right. And so they basically turned him into a god at that moment, or a god king. Now, during his time in Egypt, Alexander founded the city. This city has such an amazing name, was such an amazing place. There's an Alexandria in every state in the United States. That's right, Alexandria, Alabama. You've heard of Alex City in Alabama? That's right. Alexandria, Louisiana. There's a lot of Alexandrias all over the world. After leaving Egypt, Alexander moved east he's going to go into Mesopotamia to confront Darius. He's going to go find this guy and go conquer the rest of Persia. That's what he's going to do. The desperate Persian king assembled a force. Oh, now this is going to be his last chance. He's going to get another force together. Watch this thing. This is a big old group of men. 250,000 men, or 250,000 men. The two armies met at Gaugamela, a small village near the ruins of the ancient Nineveh. All right. Alexander launched a massive phalanx attack, followed by a cavalry charge. As the Persian lines crumbled, Darius again panicked and then fled or ran away. Alexander's victory at Gaugamela, guess what it is? What did it do to the Persians' power? It ended it, y'all. And that's how the Persian Empire came to an end. That's right. So now Alexander controls all of Greece, controls all of Egypt, and then it controls all of the Persian Empire. That's right. And that's a big place. All right. So then within a short time, Alexander's army occupied many, many other places very quickly. Parts of this is part of the Persian Empire, Babylon, a place called Susa, another place called Persepolis. Those places don't really matter that much. Babylon does. Babylon's a big, big deal. The others don't really matter. These cities yielded a huge treasure, which Alexander distributed among his army. A few months after it was occupied, Persepolis, Persia's royal capital, check it out. It's burned to the ground. We don't know if it was done on purpose or not, but he burned it to the ground. And some people said Alexander left the city in ashes to signal the total destruction of the empire, or the Persian Empire. Okay, now I'm going to pause right there. All right, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on part 3 tomorrow.